More exciting news.
Instead of that Campbell, we're going to go to Dan Campbell. Okay.
Dan Gamble.
Gamble. We'll call him Gamble. He is crazy. Now, I think this is part of what we all love about him.
Yeah, the media loves him right now.
Yeah. So, and I think there's been a lot of fans. I mean, not a lot of coaches get talked about of passion. I think he has a lot of passion for him. His gunslinger mentality is exciting. It's fun to watch, but it's also killed them.
Yeah.
I'm not sure at all that the 49ers go to the Super Bowl last year if it's not for his decision making.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And so gunslinging, and there's a good times to go for it, and then there is just utter foolish times to go for it. Now, to set the stage, it's a 10-point game. It was 17. They're 17 points down. They come down. It's a 10-point game, and he tries to do an onside kick. Now
they have the momentum.
They have the momentum. Now, I know the other side is saying, we don't feel that we can stop right now. We can't stop Buffalo. And that's the thinking. But now you have to go, there's no element of surprise. Yeah. You have to say, hey, we're going to do a trick play right over there. We're onside and kicking it. And so you have to announce it. The percentage and likelihood of getting that is so low. If you play defense, I know you've lost your cornerbacks. I know you've lost your linebacker. I know you're hurt and it's hard to stop. But here's your opportunity. A penalty could cost Buffalo yardage right off the bat on a drive, and they might get themselves out of a situation where they have to punt. You could have a fumble. You could have an interception. All of those percentage likelihoods are much better
than doing
an onside kick.
Yeah.
And if you're going to do an onside kick, don't do it with 12 and a half minutes to go.
Way too much time.
So you just kill. And then so what happens? They do the onside kick. They tip the ball. They run it down to the 3-yard line. 2 minutes later, 17-point game.
Yeah.
And what do? They come down and score. They score again. They did get stops. They were able to come back, and it became a one-possession game.
Yeah.
And they lost.
By
one touchdown.
Yeah.
They needed one stop.
Before this game, I want to be clear. As someone who loves some social media football,
yeah.
Okay, I want to be clear. I saw many Lions fans saying how the Lions were going to put a stomping on Josh Allen.
Yeah.
And I saw so many Lions fans talking about how Dan Campbell is the man and how his gambles makes him the best coach in the league. I haven't seen any of it since.
No, this is insane.
Because everybody loves to gamble when you win. No one wants to be around a gambler who loses. Everybody wants to be at the table when that guy puts $500,000 on red and wins.
Right.
Everyone wants to see it. But nobody wants to go home with the guy that puts $500,000 on red and loses every dime.
No, and if he would have got it, it's still a stupid decision. Now, it could have worked, but if you look at the odds, there's a difference at midfield and it's 4th and 2 and going for it.
Yeah.
And you're down 10 and you're like, hey, I got to do something. A fake punt at the 45-yard line.
Yeah.
You can see certain things like that. The odds of getting an onside kick when you have to announce you're doing it are so remotely low. Get a stop. Get a stop. Try. There's no reason to do this right now. And
I think it was just the time overall too. I was just like, you couldn't convince me that was the right call with that much time left. I just don't love it.
No.
I don't love it one bit.
Nope. I think he blew it. I think he cost himself an opportunity for a Super Bowl last year. And this year, I do feel for him. They are very injured on the defensive side.
They're depleted.
They have fallen. I think they were the best team in the league.
Well, remember when we sat in
here
a
month ago or whatever.
Remember when we sat in here a month ago?
Yeah.
And I sat here at this table and I said, Randy, there is such thing as peaking too early.
Yeah.
And I don't want to sit here and say I called it because it's maybe a little too early to say I called it. But with how many injuries they've had at this point, I just don't see how they're going to be able to make a playoff run.
Nope. Not on the defensive end. I think they're in deep trouble.
Yeah.
So
and they lost David Montgomery. Did you hear about that?
For how long?
For the rest of the season.
He's out for the season?
Yeah, they're saying it's a sprained ankle.
He could be back for if they go to the Super Bowl. He could be back for that.
I don't think they're going to the Super Bowl. Right now, they're going to have a chance, but I don't see them going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
We'll be
Says Lions running back David Montgomery is going to have season-ending knee surgery. Oh, I thought it was his ankle.
That is catastrophic. That is one of their. They have a couple strengths.
Oh,
They-
yeah. Season-ending knee surgery.
Yeah.
So we'll see what that means if maybe late in the playoffs
Yeah.
he can't come back. I don't know, but
It's such a shame. I have been one of those people who I've thought for a while that the Lions were going to the Super Bowl, but I didn't really anticipate the injuries to be the level.
I mean,
that
I
they're at.
sat here as an Eagles
Yeah.
fan, and I said, unbiasedly, even as an Eagles fan, I felt like the Lions had the
Yeah.
best chance to win the Super Bowl.
wow, that is catastrophic.
But it all goes back to the NFL. It's a long season.
Yeah,
You don't
Yeah.
play 5 games a week. You play 1 game a week, and
Yeah,
you can peak way too early.
you can peak and you got to stay healthy. And they did peak early, and then they're pretty decimated defensively.
Yeah.
And now it's a backup running back, but he'd start on most teams.
Oh, well, this is the thing.
He's basically they're
That
2
Lions-
starters. They got
that-
2 starters.
Yeah, but that Lions running back room is only as elite as it is because of the 2-headed monster.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Jameer Gibbs is he's a stud.
He is, but he's not going to be used to carrying the load that he's now going to have to carry. So they're either going to still go with 2, and they're going to have their 3rd string running back and see if he can do things, but it's not as likely. That's a huge loss, and they're going to have to score a lot of points. So
I don't even know who their other backup running back is.
wow.
I wonder if it's someone at least half decent. I
Well-
could see them. Having,
well,
Craig Reynolds. Actually, Craig Reynolds is not too bad.
I don't like it when teams get hurt. I feel bad for players. I just would like to see the healthiest people play, and then
Yeah.
you know who really wins.
Yeah.
I don't want to buy flags, and I don't like it by injuries.
I mean, just look at this. Hold up. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
David Montgomery.
Yeah.
Season-ending knee surgery. Khalif Raymond, who was one of their main wide receivers, he's on IR. Connor Galvin, one of their tackles, is on IR. Aiden Hutchinson, IR. Nate
that's
Lynn,
that's a
IR.
huge loss, Hutchinson.
I mean, almost their whole defensive line is on IR.
Yes.
You got Wingo, Kaminsky, Bada, all on IR. Their middle linebacker, their backup middle linebacker, Reeves, who's probably a special teams pro for them, is on IR. Their other middle linebacker, I forget how you pronounce it, Anzalano, he's on IR. I mean, Khalil Dorsey, IR. Carlton Davis, who was one of their good players a while back ago, he's on IR. One of their cornerbacks, one of their safeties on IR. I mean, listen, this not only has implications on their defense and their offense, but also their special teams. You're talking about a lot of guys, those 2nd, 3rd stringers that are special team aces.
Yeah.
That's a huge deal.
Man,
It's
they
a
are
huge deal.
decimated. I'm looking here.
Yeah.
11 guys on defense hurt.
This
This
is
was
rough.
like the 49ers defense.
Yeah.
Their only thing they got fortunate for them is some of this has been happening late in the season, so they've got a lot of wins. But it's going to did you say Carlton Davis, cornerback? I mean,
Khalif Raymond and Khalil Dorsey, one was their special teams, one was their punt returner, and one was their kick returner, and they're both on IR.
oh man, so they got at every position: safety, defensive end, defensive line, linebacker, couple linebackers.
They got it like the 49ers
man.
got it right now.
Oh my goodness, they're drinking the same water, and they're going to be playing each other. It'll be 2. Yeah, they got a game coming up: Detroit, San Francisco, a battle of the G League.